Happy Tuesday to all my subscribers. Congratulations to everybody. We nailed this market perfectly. Look at this big sell off on SPX. You can see SPY down 1%, 1.12%. Triple Q's down more than 1.27%. You can see all tech stocks selling. Apple minus 1.2, Google 2%, Microsoft almost 2%, Snowflake 2%. Netflix 2%, Nvidia 1.57%, Tesla 1.64%. All big major caps are down. And I told you guys, look at my video yesterday. I said cycle top is coming here, and now we're looking for a downward momentum here, similar to here. Again, guys, before we go further, if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button. It only takes you 1 second to hit the like. Please share with your friends and family. Please subscribe to my videos. And if you're making money, you want to thank, there is a PayPal link in the video description. Please donate. I will appreciate all your donations. All right. So where do we go from here? S&P 500 getting a sell signal. Okay. You can see here, I told you guys yesterday, this is the chart, perfect chart, never fails. We were in this buy zone, sell zone, sorry, above this dotted line. Every time we are above this sell zone, we sell. Okay. Now we're going down this rotation at minimum. I'm looking for minimum 3% rotation. So from here, let's go back to here. So minimum I'm looking for from this one, 3% will be 1.6% from here. So if I take from close, today's close to 1.6%, which around 2% is where my buy zone starts, around 40.80 on MES chart, and the bottom of buy zone is around 4%. Okay, so anywhere from 2% to 4% is where I will be looking to buy. This is going to be a great buy the dip opportunity. Now we still have some time until 2nd of June, early June. So as of today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days, 1 week, almost one week of trading days involved. So it's not going to go straight down. You can see what happened here. You can see here we got sell off. You can see we topped here, and then we got sell off one day similar to here, and then we kind of stood there, like we did not just break down. So I'm expecting something like that. It could have a little bit of bounce because we are in this big zone, support zone now. So it could little bit do a dead cat bounce and then go down. Okay, so it might not go straight down. This is the projection. However, it doesn't need to go straight down. So you can expect something like from today, a little bit of bounce, okay, and then go down. All right, so be mindful of that. So do not expect it to go straight down. So do not get too excited if we see a bounce tomorrow, because we're sitting right on support. Okay, also you can see we are now back in this channel. So since April, early April to now, we went nowhere. Okay, if I draw a box, if I draw this box, okay, this is from the top to the bottom. You can see we are again in this box again. We had a fake out. Okay, fake out move, everybody got excited. People are saying we're going 4,300, and now we are going back in this zone. Okay, so we are again wherever we started in March, we are again there. We can go probably to the bottom of this channel, this whole box, which will be around our buy zone. So that's what I'm expecting. So let's get rid of this. It's a bit tricky. Okay, yeah, here you go. Let's get rid of this. So again, so looking for a little bit of hold here and then go down. Okay, and again to recap, you can see the sell-off US 2000, which is IWM. You can see this purple line looking for sell-off in IWM. Also looking for mainly sell-offs in financial sector, tech sector. Tech sector is the one which was pumping. This is mainly all the big cap stocks were holding the market. Everything else was going down. And today you can see we had across the board all sell-offs. Okay, energy is very low weight in S&P 500. We can see utilities selling off, healthcare, XLV selling off, financials, as I am hoping more sell-off is coming, industrial and real estate. Everything is red, okay, including tech sector. So when everything is red, it's a big risk, and you have to be careful. Okay, now when we are here, eventually in a week, people will be saying we are crashing, and then that's the time you should be looking to buy for a dip higher later on. Okay, all right, so that's let's go to SPY 1 hour chart. I want to show you something here on 1 hour chart. We created a gap now. Okay, on 1 hour chart we had a gap, we could not fill it, so eventually we'll fill this gap, but looks like we're now going down to fill multiple gaps. So if I go to daily chart, You can see there are multiple gaps here. So first target is 406, second target is 401. I don't know if you're going to reach 395. There's a big gap here. It's quite obvious. So maybe we'll just bounce above 401. Okay, so be mindful of that. Again, going back on this famous chart, so minimum target is around 40.37, this yellow line. So I'm not looking to buy until we go below this, or at least 3% rotation completes. All right, and and again, this is the other chart which I showed you. This is a swing traders chart. So now after 375 ticks, we are going down. So let's see how low we go. So if you get anywhere near 300, I will be looking to buy MES. All right, I'll keep you guys updated on that. VIX bullish. I told you guys yesterday, looking for a bullish move. It's still not closed above 20. As soon as it closes above 20, it's going to be a big dump in all sectors, and we have to be very careful. Still, it's below. Let's bring in moving averages. So you can see it's still below. It tried to go above this 50 SMA, daily SMA, but it sold off. So still below that. Okay, so still VIX is not as bullish as I thought. So, but still, there's still more room. Looking for more higher prices. You can see this cycle high is going here. It's going to put upward pressure on VIX and downward pressure on S&P 500. Nasdaq. Let's go to this chart. I told you yesterday. You can see this chart. We touched purple line. Now I'm looking for at least at minimum bottom purple line, or at least anywhere below this white line. That will be a good buy zone. So that's what I'm looking for. And you can see the beauty of this chart. Every time we go to top purple line, we come back to bottom purple line on Nasdaq. You can see we went near top, went to bottom. Again here, we went to top purple line, above purple line, then we went back to the bottom. So looking for a move back to the bottom purple line, which is around 13,000 right now. And this other chart, which I showed you other day, this chart, again, same thing. Above, we are now above yellow line. Okay, if I zoom out a bit, every time we are above yellow line, we go down. So now we are looking for downwards move on Nasdaq here as well. Okay, so and triple Qs also had a gap down, and let's see if it filled this gap on 1 hour chart. Still this gap is not filled, so eventually we'll fill this gap. There are multiple gaps to the downside. You can see if I go to daily chart, multiple gaps, so I think most of the gaps should be filled, and then also it's on this trend line. So again, at the minimum looking for a little bit more sell-off. Okay, and this is also, there's another secondary trend line, this purple line. So it's quite possible we can find some support on this purple line, and then a little bit bounce, and then go to this white line. So the multiple support, but at minimum, I'm looking for this 317 gap to fill at minimum before we go higher. And also one other thing to note on SPY, if I go to US 500, you can see we are on this support line, this white line, and now we are right on support. You can see there's also this white 20 EMA and also this white support line. So there are multiple supports, so it's okay to have a little bit of bounce before we go lower. So be mindful of that as well. And moving along, US 30 basically sold off. Dow Jones 0.69% down and looking very weak. If I go to DIA, let's see if there are any gaps to the downside. Multiple gaps to the downside, okay, on DIA. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see if I go to the left side, you can see there are multiple gaps. There's also a gap here. There's a gap here around 327. Also, there's a gap here. Multiple gaps are happening here. There's also a gap here. And also there's another gap here. So multiple gaps are on the downside on Dow Jones. So let's see how many gaps are filled. If I go to daily chart, this is the daily chart. Let's come back here. Looking for at minimum this gap 327, and even going, let's fix this line. Now we're going down. So looking for, let me bring the right tool. Looking for at least, this would be my ideal scenario before we bounce higher. Okay. At minimum, looking for 327 to fill before the bounce. And IWM, Russell 2000, looking for very close to the cycle low, and looking for lower prices on Russell 2000, maybe equal lows or lower lows, looking for like a big sell-off very soon. We'll see how it goes. IWM is the ETF. It's also red. You can see it got rejected right above this. So let's see if it filled this gap or not. slightly gap left, so still that gap is not filled. And you can see now I'm looking for more sell-off on this. There's a gap here around 170. It's quite possible you can go. This is blue line is 200 SMA, and dark blue line, light blue line is 200 EMA, and dark blue line is 200 SMA. So it got rejected right from that 200 EMA. So it looks like you want to go lower. Okay. Moving along, wheat is the perfect. This is what I'm holding, full disclosure. And we can see if I zoom out, this is cash index. You can see we were on this bullish falling wedge, and now we are like, this is more than a year. So this started in May 2022, and we are now more than May. So since 1 year, we're just falling down on this wedge, and I'm looking for a breakout. And if I show you on, you can see there's divergence on PPO and RSI. If I go to 1 hour chart, usually bounce starts from lower time frame. You can see we made, before we were making lower lows, and today we made a higher low. You can see this this high, we closed above this, and then we also covered this previous high. So now I'm looking for a little bit more lower and then bounce again. Okay, so something like this, like a little bit of higher, a little bit down, bounce. So keep going higher like that. Okay, wheat, this is the ETF you can buy, wheat. We can see multiple gaps, 7.09. Here there's another gap here around, basically let me make it yellow, 7.54. So multiple upsides here. And then if I take a percentage of, let's say from here to the first target is around 5%, second target is around 10%, and then almost 13%. Okay, a lot of upsides on wheat, and we can even go as high as 7.54% from here. If you go as high as that, that's going to be around almost 20%. Okay, so a lot of targets upside on the wheat. Good to buy that. All right, gold, basically a little bit of bounce, but again, everything is intact, nothing changed. If I zoom in a bit, looking for a little bit of bounce to fail and then eventually go lower. Okay, my target is in this box, around 1900 is my target. Silver, same thing, have a little bit of bounce and then gonna go back. It's already in the buy zone, but I think a little bit of bounce will happen now before we go back to lower lows, and around $22 is a good area to buy. Crude oil was going higher, but I think it's right against this resistance. You can see this 73.68, almost 74. This blue line is resistance line. Right next to it, and also this daily 50 SMA is coming here. So right on resistance, looking for lower prices on crude oil. Natural gas going down, looks like after this reversal candle. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see there's also this gap here around 2.18. This is my target for natural gas, and if that happens, if that fills, look to buy. If I go to 1 hour chart, let's see how far away are we from the target. So from today's close to almost 12%. Okay, so I don't know if it's gonna fill, but at the closer we get to the target, look to buy. The cycle low is coming around 14 June, so more lower. So this is gonna be around another pullback to buy, and then we're gonna pump higher. Bitcoin was a bit up, just doing a flag, nothing changed. I can, yeah, it looks more like a flag now. Let's see if let's draw a trend line, see if we can make anything. Yesterday I made a trend line like this from here. It was making basically, looks like it broke out of this triangle, but today now it's like it wants to come back to this triangle. Okay, looks like it broke out. We have to be above this top triangle to be bullish. If it comes back inside, that's going to be very bearish, and the targets are going to be around 24,000. Ethereum, same thing, although it bounced, but looking for lower prices. So looking for around 1700 to 1600 to buy Ethereum. Moving along, looking at other sectors, gold miners. Gold miners are selling off, looking for lower prices. Around 30 bucks is a good price to buy. Multiple gaps. There's also a gap around 29.16. We can even go there. Also, there's some gaps with upside, so it's possible we can get a little bit of bounce before we go down. So, but eventually I'm looking to buy around 30 bucks. And mortgage rates, TNX, little bit of downwards pressure. And interesting because everything is selling, even mortgages are selling, so it doesn't really make sense. But we'll see. Although this could be the top, looking for lower prices because cycle low is coming here around 7th of June. It's quite possible this can also go lower along with the entire market. PFIX is the ETF if you want to trade mortgage rates. Bonds, looking for basically a little bit of stabilization here, but looking for another lower because the cycle low is coming on 9th of June, looking for lower prices here. Sectors, XLE looks like a dead cat, not a dead cat bounce, but still finding resistance on this 200 EMA, looking for more lower prices on XLE. And this is the gap, which is my target eventually. XLU going lower, and looks like it's making a flag, possibly going to go a little bit more lower along with S&P 500. Healthcare is very weak. Looking for, let's see in 1 hour chart, did we fill this gap? We did not. You can see actually we did fill this gap, but now there's also a resistance to the top side, so we can make this yellow. We gap down, and now there's a gap up, and then there's a gap down. Looks like we're going to go down to fill this gap before we go up. XLF very weak. Let's see if we gap down today or not. 1 hour chart, we did not do any gaps. So looking for lower prices, you can see cycle low is coming here. So looking for equal lows or lower lows on XLF. Financial banks, industrial, same thing, looking for lower prices. Same as Dow Jones. Also gap around 79.97.99. Looking for that to fill. Real estate also going down. Looking for lower prices. Real estate sector should suffer more with the higher interest rates. Tesla had a bullish move in the morning and then it gave down everything. So this is a reversal candle looks like. So we'll see where we go. You can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of buying. So it's possible this is just a pullback before we go higher, or it could be a deeper pullback. There's a gap here around 161. So I don't know if we're going to come right to that gap, but it's possible we can go at minimum here, which is around 178 before we bounce, but eventually we're going to come to fill this gap. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. It's not going to go straight down. It can just bounce around. Okay. It can bounce and then come down, but eventually keep that gap as a target. It will happen eventually. Apple is selling off. You can see here my projection is working very nicely here. If I go to 1 hour chart, I think it gapped down. Yeah, it gapped down and never filled that gap. So now lower prices, looking for all these gaps. So you can decide when it's going to full. We'll keep S&P 500 as a target for these gaps to fill before we get a bounce. Google 2% down, gave back all the gains from yesterday. Looks like a blow off top. You don't want to be okay. One other thing on Apple I want to show you. We have bearish divergence. You can see PPO is going lower, RSI going lower with price going higher. So now that divergences are playing out. So looking for lower prices on Apple. Google has no divergence here. So it's a bullish chart, but there's a massive gap here. So at minimum, looking for this 113 to fill. Microsoft, also massive gap here. Also, there's still divergences here. On Microsoft, you can see PPO divergence. RSI has no divergence, but looking for at least around this gap to fill. Also, there's another gap around 308. We'll see how far it goes. Snowflakes has earnings very, very soon. Is it tomorrow? Let's see. Snowflake's earnings tomorrow after hours. So also cycle low is coming here. So in my opinion, it's gonna go lower. It's gonna sell off, and that will present a good opportunity to buy Snowflake. Meta, again, huge divergence on PPO and RSI, looking for lower prices. Amazon, yeah, it's showing divergence now. You can see we made a new high on Amazon. See what's going on here. You can see PPO is showing divergence here. Okay, lower highs on PPO. Even RSI is showing divergence on Amazon, so that's not a good sign. So now looking for lower prices at minimum back test of this pink to purple trend line before we go higher. Netflix selling off. Did it make a new high? It did not make a new high, but a lot of divergences here. At minimum, looking for this gap to fill around 341. Nvidia looks like top is in. And earnings, is it tomorrow earnings? Yeah, tomorrow is the earnings, so we'll see how it goes. But it pumped so high, I won't be surprised if we cool down a bit after earnings. There are multiple gaps. All this pump should be already priced in the earnings, so I won't be surprised if we get a big dump after earnings. AMD kind of flat, looks like a rejection candle. It's in the sell zone. Try to break out, but cannot break out. Still on divergence. So again, not able to go above. And let's look at other sectors. KRE's regional banks, looks like a reversal candle. Looks like the top is in, looking for lower prices, equal lows or lower lows on banks. And Disney, again in the buy zone. So basically in a long-term buy zone here, you can see this whole area is a buy zone. So look to buy there. Bank of America is giving earnings very soon. It's not earnings, sorry, dividends on 1st of June. So you need to buy a day before, Wednesday. So 22 cents per share. Good. I think it's going to have a little bit more sell-off. So if you can buy a day before 1st of June, so that will be here next to next Wednesday to get that dividends. Okay. And by that time, I'm expecting lower prices. So this is in my radar watch list. Also, Goldman Sachs is same thing. If it goes lower near dividends a day before, I'm going to buy that lift. Also, very interesting, same thing, going lower on higher momentum on PPO and RSI. We don't have a buy signal yet, but this chart can bounce any day. Okay, so this, I'm keeping that in my radar as well. You can see divergences here. So wait for a breakout of trend line. So you can draw a trend line here, something like this. Okay, wait for a breakout of that trend line to buy left. Okay. Okay, guys, that's it for today, and hope you guys liked the video. And on your way out, please hit the like button and share with your friends and family. And have a great rest of the day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.